In Fargo, North Dakota, in the North Dakota State University Emily Reynolds Costume Collection, there is a large outfit of a Klan outfit. So it's a large Klan outfit. It's white with the pointy hat and the white robe, and it has the insignia over the heart. And this is to show the history of the Klan in Fargo, North Dakota. In the 1920s, it was ramped up. It was very much alive. And as you saw throughout history, less and less appearances were made by the Klan, but they were still there. And recently at NDSU, after the murder of George Floyd by Minneapolis police, there was a group of students from NDSU that did a reenactment of the murder of George Floyd. They were white students, and they were found on Snapchat performing this reenactment, and they were laughing about it. There was also some racist groups put together on Snapchat at NDSU. There was a fair amount of posters put up saying it's okay to be white at NDSU. And then there was a threat made to the president of NDSU, Dean Brashani, a letter that said something regarding a European American Student Coalition or European American Student Group that was threatening the president of NDSU if any measures were taken to amplify Black Lives Matter or anything like that. The issue is that I believe over 90%, 95% of the students on campus at NDSU, and I've been there, are white. And it's a very white space. It is a white space. And we can get into more discussions about what a white space is down the line. And one of the things that NDSU prides itself on is its football team. And as you know, for colleges, the big moneymaker for a lot of them is their football teams. You bring in, all of the former folks that went to the college, pour in money, donate money. You get the stadium going. You get all these things going, and it brings in money for the college, and it's a big moneymaker for the college. And recently, it's come to my attention that there will be some retroaction taken, or there will be some type of pushback taken if there are any football players that take the knee during the national anthem. In historical fashion, at any point in time where Black people speak up for themselves, when we speak up for ourselves, it is co-opted as a threat or violence against the status quo. And there's a famous speech by Malcolm X that says, when I preach Black love, I'm not talking about white hate. I'm just talking about loving myself. There's no need for you to insert yourself into it. It has nothing to do with you. I'm just saying Black love. It has nothing to do with white people. And in fashion, when Black people are taking the knee, or anybody's taking the knee during the anthem, it's been co-opted as, oh, well, you hate America. You hate the flag. You hate our troops. And folks don't understand that Colin Kaepernick collaborated with somebody that served in the armed forces for the U.S. Armed Forces to create the knee. Instead of sitting down, instead of standing up, let's take the knee. And so it can address police brutality and the historical public execution of Black lives that is happening right now. It's happening all the time. And instead of not paying any mind to it, instead of passively going into the night, we're going to pay attention to it. So my message is this to the football players at NDSU. And this is not for the Black football players, as you might have thought it was. This is for the white ones. This is your opportunity to do something huge. You don't have to be like the white folks in the Snapchat. You don't have to be like the white folks that did the reenactment of George Floyd's murder. You have the opportunity to do better. And if you look throughout the history of time, the civil rights movement right now, when things start to work and amplify and actually humanize people that aren't white, it's because a lot of white folks put themselves out there as well. You have the opportunity as a white football player at NDSU to take the knee. How huge would that be? How amazing would that be? How powerful would that be? And you might say, well, I'm going to lose my scholarship. But as we say in a lot of the actions around town, okay, you risk your scholarship. There's people out here risking their lives. And I think it would be fair to say that being Black in Fargo is an act of risking your life. Being in a white space, being targeted. If you say something, something could happen to you. If you stand for something, you could be taken down. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of black students at NDSU can empathize with this, because I can empathize with this from my days at my college. If I spoke up, there's gonna be a fair amount of pushback. Me speaking up right now has been a fair amount of pushback. The death threats, the everything, it's all happened, and it keeps happening. And it would be monumental, it would be paramount, it would be historical if you, as a white football player, took the knee during the national anthem, during one of your games. And it's not to, spit at America or anything like that. If anything, it's a pretty amazing thing to stand up for your fellow neighbors and to stand up for your teammates, and to stand up for those that have been silenced, that have been put on mute, that have been killed, that have been publicly executed, that have been hegemonized, that have been gentrified, that have been ostracized, excommunicated, that have been beaten into submission, that have been absolutely, forced to code switch and take on different identities and modes of language just to fit into white spaces. So how big would that be for you as a white football player at NDSU, or really any college in this country, to take the knee during the national anthem? How big do you think that would be?